Hello and welcome to everybody. It's an absolute thrill to welcome you to this day one clash, and no day, of course, engenders hope or optimism more than this one. Optimism which could dissipate at a rate most alarming or last all the way to the latter stages. We shall see. Well, this is one of the newer of the major venues here in Sao Paulo, built of course in time for 2014. It is the Neo Química Arena. Things have got underway here pretty promptly. It's an inviting looking ball, that. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make... And he's had a hit!
Oh, once he made the save, it didn't take the keeper long to start barking at his defence.
Pedro Neto. He's had a hit! Fires from distance. Big relief, it just needed better contact.
No, it's a fair attempt. I think he felt he could line one up there. The odds were never really in his favour.
It's been a pretty high-octane start, at least from one side's perspective.
Yeah, it's a good start, Peter, and they look hungry for goals, and they'll be aware of having to capitalise in such a good spell.
And he goes cross-field. In for a header! He's got away with one there. Gusto. Quarter of an hour played. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, it's plain for all to see who has settled into this game with the greater superiority. Now for a goal.
Nicely spread. Back into the middle. And the shot! Now, who's going to be in for the pieces? A collective sigh of relief from the defence.
Well, one sloppy lapse like that can do a lot of damage, and it was triggered by the closing down.
Gusto. Ball is over the line. And he's had it nicked away. Moved on forwards. And they're not going to make any further progress now. Great ball, and he's in here. Oh, that's a fine interception. Palmer. And that's gone loose. Oh, that's a key interception. And Fernandez. This interception, his positioning was spot on. Fernandez. Gusto.
Well, it seems as if he's just had a momentary lapse and slipped into tunnel vision, because he had good options around him and he failed to get his head up.
Palmer. Jackson. Well, they're certainly pressing with purpose here. No, he's not getting his way this time. Aim forwards. Well, that's well seen too. And that's put paid to a promising move. Madueke. That's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. And a goal here would be the ultimate pick-me-up just before the break. Gusto.
It's a decent chance to counter-attack.
Played back to the goalkeeper. Hoisted upfield by the keeper. Wagner. Great hit! And this could be the final action of the first half. Header! Loose. Oh, he's caught him there. It's a free kick. He knew what was coming. That's a yellow card. There is the half-time whistle. But it has been a half largely of could-haves and should-haves. Perhaps the more impatient amongst the supporters will feel they're overdue a goal, but it's certainly not for the want of trying, so nothing to show as yet. At the break, it's 0-0. So there was the first half.
What an end to the half, Peter. A lot of the best action of the half coming at the very end, and I get the feeling the second half may well start in similar fashion, as we'd love to see this momentum maintained, so I'm looking forward to what's to come.
No goals at this stage, but certainly not devoid of action. It is 0-0 here at half-time. So we're just settling back into this second half. And a header! Decent attempt, but not quite good enough.
Oh, he was first to react, and I love that part of it. The reaction was great, and he almost profited, you know.
Oh dear, less said about that pass the better. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. Shapes to shoot! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
It's their second corner of the game. Gets his head to it! Oh, denied! Brilliantly!
Really anticipated that well, didn't he? Niceties are not part of this approach. This is actually quite aggressive.
A noticeable change in the approach to defending here. Much more in your face.
Listen, it's not...
And the finish!
That, Peter, is wonderful reading of the game. Perfect positioning. Well played.
There's the shot! Out of play for a goal kick. Could be danger here. It's loose and there's a race for the ball.
Público presente na partida de hoje, 60.810 espectadores.
Well, this is certainly a game where the scoreline does not reflect the action. How it has stayed 0-0, nobody can quite understand. And he's got his cross in. That is great defending, so alert. Madueke. Can he finish?
Well, you would hope for some movement off the bench, Peter, knowing you get an extra sub in extra time.
And that is as far as they're going to go. Played back in. That has been slung wide. Caicedo. Now who's going to be first to this? Wagner goes direct to the front line. And the counter is on. Has a go! It's run loose. Who's going to get there? Oh, that was vital. And he's heaved it away. And he's cleared it out of harm's way. Time then for the first substitution of the game.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case. Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Wagner. Could move up a gear here. Wagner.
Well, the crowd's impatience is an indicator that they haven't quite given up on a goal just yet.
Oh, great chance! They've got to be quick to recover this. Nkunku. There's the hit! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay.
Substituição em campo.
Well, in my opinion, set pieces are 50-50 moments, and this is a rather big one, and it all depends on the service. Well, he got rid because he was under pressure. They're avoiding the blatantly obvious by not getting the ball into the opposition box. That's where it has to be. You wonder if that's it now, but there may be one more opportunity, Peter, for a late steal here.
And the shot's big chance! Tries a shot! It's loose now and they want to get it back. Oh, important interception. So nothing between them in 90 minutes and we are in for extra time.
Yeah, neither side has anything to show for some splendid effort, and they certainly aren't showing any signs of easing off, so we remain optimistic.
So a brief breather and then extra time. No winner in 90, 30 more to come. Fernandez. Wagner. Corinthians finding their passes.
They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
Out to the right. Cross goes in there. James. Well, that had the makings of something quite promising, but it's fizzled out into nothing. No, that's been intercepted. Speculative strike. And the goalkeeper watches it past.
Well, he's hit it well enough for me. I suppose it could be a deliberate attempt to just draw that defence out.
James. Back into the middle. The pass has gone astray. Decent hit! Oh, shooting chance! Great effort, but the end of the first period of extra time. Both teams trying to work out what could make a difference here. It isn't for the want of trying, but it remains all square. Well, it is starting to feel as though there is an inevitability about penalties here. You'd like to think that both teams still want to win it in the final 15 minutes. The question is, can the players go that far? And we are already back underway. Here we go then for the last time. The score still 0-0. Keeper's got good distance on that. Now he's off and running. That's a throw. Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested. Joao Felix. This is good pressing, they're not short on bodies.
That's going in strongly. Listen, it may well finish this way because it's been so tight all the way through, but equally, we might still get a moment of magic, a mistake or a refereeing decision to influence otherwise.
Well, that's well spotted. Gusto. Long ball by the goalkeeper. Wagner.
Well, both sides might have to settle for a draw here, although there's still a chance for one last fling.
And that is it. There will be penalties.
Yeah, the longer it went on, it kind of became inevitable that it would end this way, and while each defence can be proud, they've got very little say from here. It's up to the keepers now.
So it comes down to this, a final rallying cry, and then kicks from the spot. Boy, you can feel the tension. So he walks up to the spot and puts the ball down. Fernandez is over the first kick. And he has done his bit.
I thought he handled the pressure really well there. His focus cut right through it. Never looked in doubt, really. He just did what he was asked.
Nkunku is second man up. Saved! Keeper's done brilliantly.
Well, he had a little look at the goalkeeper, and maybe that put him off.
So, the second man in line. Big character, big moment, big save. The third man in the queue. It's a tame penalty, straight at the keeper.
Well, he didn't hit that with any sort of conviction, and it's an easy save in the end.
Denied! He's made the save!
Oh, he never looked comfortable over that, did he?
He steps up to take the fourth penalty. And the keeper's come up trumps.
Oh, the keeper's done brilliantly to keep his eye on the ball and make such a great save.
He steps up to take the fourth penalty. Great stop! And the keeper punches the air.
Oh, that's a super save from the keeper.
Jackson is the next man in the spotlight. Oh, that is quite remarkable.
Well, I think he's overestimated the keeper's reach then.
Wagner just needs to keep his nerve here. And he delivers! Perfect result, perfect outcome. A test passed with flying colours. Any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
Well, it's pretty clear that there was a solid game plan in place for what was a very high-pressure game. I think it shows great maturity on the part of the players, and it was, for me, well-deserved and well-earned.
And all that remains